This is the second part that covers using the prefix tool as an analyzer. Watch part 1 if you are interested in using the calculator with a single prefix list element. The analyzer is used whenever you provide more than a single prefix. Let's just jump right in. First, we will need a list of prefixes. And I'd like some overlapping prefixes so we can look at that. For this, we are going to use Hurricane Electric's excellent BGP tool to get a list of bogon routes. Not all of them, just the prefixes that are unallocated, and yet are seen in Hurricane Electric's Internet Route Table. Before we get too far, this video illustrates what bitlug can do and how you can use the tool, but it isn't making any recommendations about security policy. Bogons have been used to do bad things, and it's not uncommon for enterprises to block these prefixes in their network. That is the use case for the demo. Some bogons are just a misunderstanding of an allocation, or they are a misconfiguration. Probably someone didn't check their work with bitlug. They also change as new subnets are allocated by the registries. There are companies out there that specialize in dealing with bogons. Anyway, today we are only talking about the prefix tool. So let's go have a look at Hurricane Electric's bogon list. We can get a list be either the origin or the prefix. If we do origin, the list is sorted by BGP-AS number. If we do prefix, then it is sorted by subnet. Let's grab the list sorted by BGP-AS and let the tool sort them by subnet. I can just copy the web page directly and paste this into the prefix tool. The tool will extract out the subnet it finds on each line of text. Okay, let's submit this. We see in the output that the tool was not able to find a subnet on at least one line of the text. For us, that will be the first line and the last line. So this is expected. The output has 4 columns. This first column is only shown if there are duplicates, meaning 2 rows had the same prefix. We can go back to the data to confirm duplicates with a simple text find. This is a good example of a bogon that might need a little more research since 2 providers are advertising this unassigned prefix. I am going to gloss over that. Duplicates are still included as part of the optimization that the tool does. The next column is a list of optimized prefix elements. The top of the column gives us the total IP count covered by these prefixes, and the size of a subnet we would need to cover them, in this case a /11. It also tells us the number of prefixes. Compare this to the count in the far right column. We started with 586 subnets and we have reduced that to 350 prefix list elements. The third column has summaries. We are going to make a prefix filter, but we could use this tool to create summary routes that would clean 236 routes out of our route table if we wanted. This fourth column is just the subnets we put in, but sorted and organized into a tree. There are 2 symbols to explain. The first is this little L with an indentation. This means we had a /22 that happened to cover this /23, that also covered this /24. From the data, this happened here in AS37442. And you can see we tuned that into prefix element. Below this we have some prefixes sitting behind a plus symbol. These are adjacent subnets that we combined. We have several here, and you can see that they don't combine into a single line. The 204 and 205 can combine. And the 214 and 215 can combine. You can see the first 2 pairs here. But then the next 6 did all join together into a single prefix element. The /19 wasn't in the original data, but it can be used to cover all of these. You'll notice if I delete this /22, I won't be able to create the /19 anymore because we don't want to cover a subnet that wasn't included. Okay, so now we have a list of prefixes and there is a lot of useful information in here already, not only the duplicates but some ASs that advertising a block and more specifics under that block of unassigned address space. This is just the bogons. There are all sorts of lists of subnets out there that could be better optimized. But in today's example, we want to create a prefix filter to block these. We could do this in Sublime perhaps, but a better way is with templates. They allow us to embed prefix information back into text. So what we are doing now is converting between 2 different text formats, the website to a prefix list. When I select the template, I have a new option for Optimize, and it should be selected. If we turn that off, then there won't be any modification on the subnets. The template will be applied to the original 586 subnets. Sometimes this is what you want, just the text conversion but without any optimization. For the template, we just type in the text we want in the output. There are variable substitutions we can add into the text. For example, just a straight prefix list might look like this. But we can also add in a sequence number. The sequence variable has a few features we should mention. First, notice that you can do sequence plus some offset. If the sequence has a multiplier of 1, then the sequence will skip over integers of 10. This is the default Cisco sequence, and the reason is we may want to stuff some denies at the top where there are likely other denis. By skipping the 10s, we will ensure we don't overwrite something. An example might help. Let's say this is the existing ACL, and we'd like to add in 10 new lines. We could resequence the ACL like this. Or we could drop everything in there first and then resequence, like this. If you need increments of 1 including the 10s, then use the index variable instead. The sequence variable also allows you to specify an offset, say 100. So if we wanted lines starting from 100 and incrementing by 3, we would use this. So now we have converted from a web page to a prefix list. We could also convert from a prefix list to an ACL. Or from one vendor or format to another. The permit deny keyword can be updated too, but note that it expects the source to use permit and deny. The output could be translated to another keyword like allow and or drop like this. So that highlights using the Prefix Tool Analyzer. If you have any feedback or think of something that would make the tool more useful, feel free to drop that in the comments. Thank you for watching.